Okay. Got it. Let me try it this one here. God, this is just brutal. Yeah. And now it's still frozen. How do I do that? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How do I get rid of this guy that says great song on the screen? Mm-hmm. I'm clicking on it. No. We're having some technical difficulties here, guys, but we're almost ready to go. So sorry about this. Try that. Yeah, I just did. Yeah, I did it. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're gonna try this one more time because you have to have the themes. All right. Thank you, Stacy. All right. We are gonna try this one more time. A little bit of technical. It's one of those days. It's technical difficulty Tuesday, even though it's a Saturday. So we're gonna do. Where is that tune? Because it is the Saturday night special, as you guys know. Leonard Skinner. And what album is Saturday Night Special on? Does anyone know? Holy shit! As if I know that. Maybe Street Survivors. Is it on Street Survivors? That sounds about right. Welcome to the Saturday night special. Had some technical difficulties today. Just one of those days, but you know what? It's fine. We could have started without the intro, but there's no rock and roll show that starts without the intro, right? Am I right about this? So I'm glad that you guys are here. We're very excited. We got the guys from Kuarantine are here today. If you guys haven't heard, it's the new band that we started. It's basically the gimmick, shall we say, is an all 80s cover band, all 80s Kiss cover band. So only Kiss tunes from the unmasked era of the 80s. So we're going to talk all about that. The song is called No, No, No. We rocked it. But first, had a great week. Very, very cool stuff. I got to say, first and foremost, a couple of big deaths. Obviously, Jerry Stiller passed away. Super funny. Not just from Seinfeld, but from King of Queens. So George likes the bananas. He put the bananas on the side. And also Astrid Kutcher, who you might not know this name. She was very influential in the early years of the Beatles. She's the one in Hamburg. She was an artist, and she's the one who came up with the Beatle haircut that we all know. Brushed it forward, kind of the whole Beatle bowl cut type of thing. Astrid was. She's the one that put them in leather, black leather, got them out of suits, and kind of gave them an image and a gimmick. So rest in peace, Astrid. She also was engaged to Stuart Sutcliffe, who was the original bass player of the Beatles, who died of a brain tumor, a brain aneurysm, very, very young, which forced Paul McCartney to switch over to bass from guitar, and the rest is history. And then today, another huge loss in the world of comedy is Fred Willard, who obviously was super funny in all the Christopher Guest documentaries. He was great in Best in Show as the commentator. So how much you bench? Tell me, how much you bench press? Or did you ever put any gimmicks on these dogs? I'd like to see some. That dog should have a Sherlock Holmes hat and a little pipe. Anybody can do that? And of course, the famous, this is Spinal Tap, where he plays Sergeant Hochstetter, who is he's the guy who runs the army base where Spinal Tap plays the day that Nigel Tufnell quits. And he talks about how, I shouldn't get too close to the band. I'm getting a little shaggy myself. They might think I'm part of the band. I'm joking, of course. So the late Fred Willard, what a funny, super hilarious guy. And God bless him as well. So lots of comedy loss and, but what good week we had. AEW was fun. Yes, I destroyed Vanguard 1, the piece of shit drone. He deserved it. We had a lot of fun with that. And, of course, also the threat of Pineapple Pete was vanquished. So it was a good week as we get ready for the Stadium Stampede coming up next Saturday. And so you guys know, get your questions ready. We're gonna have some fun, tell some stories, have some drinks. Fred Willard was also the dean from How High. Lots of stuff there. That guy was just super funny, man. He could always hold together a scene. He was also in Modern Family. He played Phil's dad. So great guy. He's kind of from that SCTV era, with Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara and all those amazing comedians from that. So, yes, Pineapple Pete needs to pay for the lag. I'm not sure what that means. Let's get a question up here from Casey Clark. Says, greetings, Chris, from Missoula, Montana. Stay safe and enjoy a little bit of the bubbly. Do we have the bubbly? Oh, it's right here. Of course, check it out. Don't forget that you can get a little bit of bubbly. There's still some cases left. Go to littleBitOfTheBubbly.com. It actually tastes good. You might want to try that out. It's not just some swill. When we put this together, it was with the intention of having something that tastes good and something that you would enjoy. Gail Vondersock. That's a hell of a name. Vondersock. It should be a metal band. I'm in Vondersock from Facebook. Loved Spinal Tap. Well, yes. That's definitely top 5 movies for me, especially when you're in a rock and roll band, because that shit really happens. Yeah, getting lost, can't find the stage and all that other stuff. So this really happens. I'm sure we'll discuss some of this with the guys from Kuarantine. Mitch Wooten that's another. Wooten should maybe open for Vanderslock. Saw Ricky Steamboat at the grocery store the other day. Jordan Tupper from Facebook says, how did you meet Bruce Kulick? We're going to find out because Bruce Kulick is going to be joining us here today. I forgot to say that because you can see Saturday Night Special Quarantine featuring Bruce Kulick as we go across the screen. So Bruce is going to join us. I had to call him and tell him that we're running about 10 minutes late because I was a little bit nervous. Like, I don't want to keep Bruce Kulick waiting, so I got to CJ Fierce says, Jericho, there's a lot of great names today. CJ Fierce, would you considering adopting Sammy Guevara? I already have. He lives in my boathouse right now. There's a funny picture that came out earlier this week that said Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara when Sammy was 4 from like 1997 or 98 in Houston. And it's some little kid, looks nothing like Sammy Guevara, but everyone's like, I can't believe Chris Jericho met Sammy Guevara when he was 4. And now 23 years later, they're in the same team. Or that's like, it's not that same guy. Okay. Just some other little dark-haired kid from the Texas area. Jonathan Benavides says, what do you think of Dark Side of the Ring? Well, I'm glad you guys enjoy that. It's really cool. Actually, the season finale this week is Owen Hart. So that's going to be really cool. And actually, Martha Hart, Owen's widow, is on Talk is Jericho right now, if you guys want to check that out. So it's a great podcast with her. And I wanted to not make it a sad podcast because we all know the story of Owen's tragic death, but I wanted to talk about his life and what a great guy he was and how fun he was. So it's not a tearjerker, and nor was it meant to be. I wanted it to be a little bit more of a tribute in a fun way to the late, great Owen Hart, one of my biggest heroes and influences. BB from YouTube says, hello, Chris. I just want to give you a shout out from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Winnipeg misses you. Take care. Be safe. Well, thank you so much. Winnipeg, of course, is my home city. Winnipeg for life. Love it. You can see I got the Jason Voorhees mask with the Winnipeg Jets logo on it right there. So definitely Winnipeg for life. What's your favorite episode? Jeez, these things go by so fast. I lost the question. Somebody asked me what my favorite episode of Dark Side of the Ring was. I think it was probably the Brawl for All because I remember it vaguely, just how weird it was. And no one dies in it. No one goes to jail. It's just this really strange concept of these guys having real fights in WWE, where they actually pitted them against each other in these MMA style matches, and it was just a huge bomb. Guys got hurt, and nobody gave a shit, and just was the shit. So go check that out. That's a lot of fun as well. Take a few more questions. Anthony Britt said Bruce should join Quarantine. Well, he kind of is in quarantine. That's what we're going to tell you because you guys have heard No, 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 the first single from Quarantine, but the second single features Bruce Kulick, so that's why he's here tonight. Andrew Clayton says, favorite Friday the 13th movie? I was always really into 2, but I just watched 4. No, not 4. I watched 5 the other day with the fat kid's eating chocolate, and he's got the chocolate all over his face, and the crazy kid kills the fat chocolate guy, and then the guy who's like the ambulance driver that takes the fat kid away is really he becomes Jason because he was really the fat kid's father. Lots of drama in that one, but it was pretty funny. Craig Adams says, hey, Chris, I'm a coronavirus survivor. I was in the hospital for 3 months through breathing tubes. I got to ask, what would you say to those who survived the virus? Well, man, congratulations, dude. That's awesome that you survived it. And I think a lot of people don't realize just how serious it is if you actually get it. But I also think that a lot of people don't understand it's not a complete, death sentence if you do. So thank you, Craig, for sharing that with us. And we're glad that you're doing okay in the UK. Noel Isley said that was part 5. Okay. What are you drinking tonight, Jericho? Little bit of the Grey Goose. Going to Grey Goose tonight, eh? Oh, yeah, man. So 5 is super underrated. Best kills in a Friday movie. Yeah, some good ones in the forest there with the like the guys with the paint gun guys and all that stuff. So anyways, lots of great stuff. We're going to talk to the guys from Quarantine, and we're going to on right here, right now. We're going to start with Kent Slusher right here. Slusher.
Hello.
And then Joe McGinnis is here. Joe, the sexy guy. And then, of course, MJ Farley right there. Yeah, I did the same thing. Guys, here's the thing that I want everyone to understand.
That's great.
This is the first time that we've basically all been in the same room together.
Chat room.
That is correct.
Yes, that's right. Super cool.
Yeah, but and this is the cool thing about how you can put together a band in this era where I know PJ for years. I've known Kent for years. I've never met Joe before. This is the first time we've ever had a real conversation. Isn't it right, Joe?
That's right. Virtual high five.
We can't. Okay, see that all of our craziness. Though Joe's back on delay.
He's on delay
Kent,
now, yeah.
We can't hear Kent.
Can you hear me?
There he is. Is Kent delayed too?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Kent and Joe. Or Joe. Actually, Joe's mic is off. Let's see. Is Joe's
Just
mic
muted.
on? Can you hear us, Joe?
Muted.
Well,
I
at
can
least
hear you
PJ's
guys
here.
now.
So, but okay. So hopefully everybody can hear everybody. I don't know what's going on, but let's talk about how this whole thing started. About how the whole quarantine came about, and that started with you, Kent.
It did. Yeah. It. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes,
Good.
we can.
Cool. Okay. So it.
Yeah,
Joe
you're
and I-
on some delay, but go ahead.
Okay, that's all right. I'll keep going. Joe and I were shooting the breeze back and forth. We talk. Him and I write together and stuff, and work on some other projects together. And we were both like, "Man, we need to do a Kiss project. We got to get this done." And so we picked No. We're like, "Yeah, man, No. I think needs to happen." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Definitely.
So I texted Chris. I shot him and I said, "Hey, man, guess this song." It was that easy, and it was that I wasn't thinking of this. I was just like, "Hey, man, guess this song." And then Chris goes, "Oh, that's No. Sounds like No. Do you guys need a singer?" And I went, "Absolutely." So, because I knew Chris, shares the '80s love with the Kiss as we all do. And then I said, "Man, if you know a bass player that would be perfect for this, line it up, because it's got to be the right guy. They got to have a passion for that era. And here's PJ. So that's how it started. And then I did the drums literally over here in the corner of the room and sent it to. It's just crazy.
Well, when you sent it to me, Kent, were you hoping that I'd say I'll sing on it?
It didn't even cross my mind. So when you said it, I was like, is he for real? Like, is he like, well, I know he's busy, but this would be really awesome. I was like an 8-year-old, and I called Joe. I'm like, "Hey man, Chris said he wants to sing on this thing." He's like, "Absolutely." So, and then it just, I knew it was going to be something extra special. It went from here to here, quickly.
Well, and the thing is with Joe too, because I said to you, Kent, who are you in this with? And you said with Joe McGinnis from
Right.
Classic 78. Now, if you guys are listening and you're Kiss fans and you haven't heard Classic 78, they're an amazing band, a couple dudes, however you guys say, that write and record original songs that sound exactly like 70s Kiss. Like this, they're not cover tunes. They sound exactly like I had a guy today that I sent you the comments. He was saying like the nuances, the voice of Ace, like everything is completely amazing. How did you stumble upon doing that, Joe?
It was kind of dumb luck, really. I mean, just kind of fate. It was real organic. Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yes, finally.
Everyone can hear? Excellent. Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah. So just like you guys, I've been a Kiss fan my whole entire life. And basically what happened was I put some demos on YouTube, just like covers of some Paul Stanley style tunes, some original, some covers, So I put them on there, and then fast forward a few years, maybe 3 or 4 years, and then this guy from Massachusetts, his name is Tom, a good friend of mine now. But at the time, I didn't know him from anybody. So he sent me this message saying, "Would you like to sing in this project?" I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I didn't know how intense and, how authentic this project would, turn out to be. So I ultimately said yes. As a fan, and it just kind of snowballed into this really cool project, and we've had a lot of great reviews, even from Paul and Gene, I believe, which was super cool, So, but yeah, that's basically how that happened.
Yeah, Paul's the one who originally told me about Classic 78. I was actually at his house. And he's like, "Have you heard this Classic 78? It's great stuff." So Paul and Gene are fans of Classic 78, and that was the cool thing about it. Is so as soon as I said, okay, so Kent is involved, and Kent is the drummer for Luke Bryan, the stadium level freaking country star. And then we got Joe from Classic 78, who has the street cred from all the Kiss fans. Charlie Benante's a big fan of Mike Portnoy and all these guys. So when you said, a bass player, I thought that PJ would be perfect because not only are PJ and I friends, and we had just spent some time together on the Jericho cruise, but PJ is in Trickster, who toured with Kiss on the Revenge tour, which is kind of the era that we're playing with. So yeah, so Kent was there, right? So PJ, tell us kind of as we lose you, come on back. There you are, buddy. Yeah. Oh, I saw you saw the Revenge. Tell us about how that was. I mean, and Bruce is actually going to join us in a few seconds. What did you think when I asked you to play on these tunes? How did you feel about the songs? Did you remember the songs at all?
I did remember the songs vaguely, but first of all, the coolest thing about doing this was kind of, when I was going to learn the songs, I got back into the 80s unmasked Kiss rabbit hole. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about this. Forgot about that. I mean, a lot of it I knew, but in all honesty, there was a certain point where I kind of got lost back when it was first happening. And I liked, it's Kiss. I celebrate their entire catalog, but but a lot of the stuff I just haven't heard in a long time.
Well, the thing that was cool about it is, like you said, like I think No. It's on Crazy Nights. I always thought it was cool, but I never really connected with it as much as some of the other tunes.
No Kiss fan really has.
Well,
No.
Yeah, until we started playing it. It's a hard song.
It's thrash. It's heavy. I mean,
it's strange.
It's thrash.
It's interesting because I sent it to a couple guys, like Rich from Fozzy said. He goes, I had no idea this is Kiss. He said, I thought it was like a David Lee Roth Eat 'Em and Smile era jam or something like that. And you would never equate Kiss with that style of playing, but this song has that. And by recording this tune and getting it out there, people are like, "What the fuck is this? This is insane. This is Kiss." Like, yes, this is Kiss.
Well, and I think that's what's beautiful about it is there's so many under the radar songs from this era that people have no idea.
Under the radar.
Exactly.
What's ironic is that that's kind of the way it is with me with Kiss, like an 80s Kiss, and it's some of the deeper stuff that I like. Like, I wasn't a fan. Crazy Nights, to me, don't like the song. Mm-hmm. It's a great record, but that song for me, I couldn't digest it, and every time I hear it, you get past that, and then every song after that's killer. But for me, that's just my bugaboo.
The thing I liked about it too is then we said, like, okay, so now we have an ipso facto supergroup, right? To where we have, Luke Bryan, Classic 78, Trickster, Fozzy. And then now we have an actual cool thing, because I think you guys are just going to do this as something just for yourselves and put it up on IG or something. And I was like, dude, I don't do that.
That's a fact.
I don't do anything for fun. I think we could do something with this, because no one's ever done a Kiss covers band focusing on these kind of lesser known, almost obscure Kiss songs. So when we play them, people are like, what? And yet we're now introducing these tunes back into the universe. And also it's a pretty cool, like I say, we're the worst supergroup ever, but we are a supergroup doing this.
Right. It's crazy, because if it wasn't for the quarantine with a Q, this wouldn't have happened. There's no way. We're all too busy on the road and doing our respective gigs.
That's exactly right.
And when you called me, you're like, "Hey, do you want to play bass?" I'm like, "What? Yes. What? Yes.
Whatever.
And do something."
And that's the thing. And I love the fact too. The video, we all shot it on our phones and from our houses, and we sent it to this amazing editor called Dima Levinchuk, who also, once again, is at home with nothing to do, and he's like, "I'll do it for like $100." And I was like, "What?" And you can see this video. It looks. I called the guys in Foz. I'm like, "We need to do our next video like this." And this looks like it costs tens of thousands of dollars. We filmed it in one take, but the edit is so good.
It's all about editing.
It's all about editing. So, and let's before we bring Bruce on, let's talk a little bit about the name. Because my suggestion for the name was, because they're all kind of 80s Kiss, was Car with a K, K-A-R-R.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And then Kent said that you had the idea for Kuarantine with a K.
Yeah.
Did that just pop in your head?
literally, I was in my kitchen talking to my oldest son, and actually, I was on the phone with Kent also, and I'm like, "Hey, we should call this thing Quarantine with a K." And I looked over at my son, and he's like, "Dad, I like that." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And I thought it was the end of it. Next day, I get a text from you guys, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is super cool." Yeah,
what was the logo? It really hit me. It hit me when you did the logo.
Yeah.
With the K, and I was like,
Right.
"Oh, okay." Now it's all.
Here's another thing. Go ahead, Joe.
No, I was just saying Kent didn't really say much when I thought,
didn't.
You know,
I didn't.
He was so quiet. I was like, okay, well, that's the end of that. So
yeah. I was like, and then you guys came back with, "I love it." And I'm like, "Dude, I love it, man. This is awesome." Yeah.
Well, and that's it's such a perfect name because it's like you just said, Kent. If it wasn't for the Quarantine with a Q, there wouldn't be a Quarantine with a K. And all of us were just excited to do something. We're doing a new Fozzy record right now, but I can't go to the studio. It's in Atlanta, and I just went over to my friend Ed's house. He lives about 45 minutes away, and we banged it out in 2 hours. And it was great to be back in the studio and creating something. I think that's one of the things about this quarantine, about this lockdown, is that there's a lot of people that are saying, "Oh, it's kind of Groundhog Day," and this other thing. And I was like, no, we need to keep creating and keep our minds sharp. And this is the perfect way to do that. And now we're in fucking Spin magazine.
It's absolutely insane. Absolutely. I was like, when you said I don't do anything halfway, like, I know for a fact he doesn't do anything halfway. There's no time. And then next thing I know, we're getting emails about, "All right, guys, here's the press deal, and here's what we're going to do." And I'm like, "What?
We haven't even left our house yet."
I know it's like Joe and I were just going to put it on Instagram. This was going to be really lame. So now it reached a whole different level, and it's the coolest thing.
So then we took things a step further. So No was the first one we were going to do, and we'll let a little secret out that we're doing Heart of Chrome from Revenge is the second song, and we're like, was it you, Joe, or Ken? Why don't we call Bruce Kulick and see if he wants to do something with this?
I think it was Eric Singer.
It was actually, so I kind of put the bug in Singer's ear about us doing something off Revenge, and he goes, "Oh man, you ought to get in touch with Bruce." And I was like, "Oh man, that's a pipe dream for me, And I was like, "Yeah, And then lo and behold, I got a message from Bruce in my inbox, Facebook it said, "Hey, Eric Singer gave me your info, man. Just let's get in touch, that kind of thing." And then it just snowballed from there. And
let's bring him in, Bruce Kulick, the amazing Bruce Kulick, and there he is.
There he is.
Hey, and of course, Bruce, we spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out this damn thing. Bruce comes on. Perfect sound, perfect audio.
Been there, done that. Okay. No, I knew this. Your StreamYard. I've been on it, and it works great. So
it's perfect. So, Bruce, you heard us talking. What did you feel when you first heard this idea?
Well, I got to go back and it's funny that you mentioned that, Kent, because out of nowhere, Eric and I keep in touch a lot. We're really tight, and he mentions you, Kent, and then he says these guys are going to do this like kind of Kiss thing. I don't even think he mentioned anything to do about Chris being involved or PJ. I didn't know anything. I just knew. And then I reached out. Well, first of all, I did a little private eye thing on Facebook and said, "Well, what are these guys about? What's going on?" My wife knew the country star you guys work with. I've only heard the name, right? But she knew. And then that made me maybe a little skeptical. But the fact that, of course, Eric knew you. And I saw you have like all these mutual Kiss related people that are your friends on Facebook. Yeah. I could tell you've probably been to some shows,
a few.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened from that point was absolutely, I heard a little bit of No. And I don't remember, maybe, I'm not sure who shared it, if it was Joe or you. And Joe, you blew me away. I got to admit. I mean, you captured something about the lead that was a lot of my tone that that really makes it work. That kind of solo thing. And then when I saw your guitar later on, of course, in the video, that was a trip. So I was like, I'm in. And then it went from excitement to massive panic fear, okay? Because we're in the new world now. There's the pandemic, and I shouldn't go somewhere to record my guitar parts. So now I'm kind of like stuck with this, like, I think I'm going to figure out my garage band to record. And I know, Joe, you know this. I started blowing you up. Kent, very hard to talk gear with you. Remind me that, okay?
You know what? I hit stuff with sticks. You can't hold it against me. That's all.
And I think I said it to Joe. I go like, why am I talking to the drummer about miking an amp? I mean, what is wrong with me?
Trust me. If I do anything with the guitar, it's direct. I can promise.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Got it. No, I knew I couldn't do that, and I have some dear friends. Actually, a guy that I worked a lot with in L.A. who now is in Nashville, a singer-songwriter. Who right away I was in touch with him. I was all excited, and I said, "What do you think I should do? What do I have?" He knew all my gear because we used to go in the studio all the time, different projects. And then he told me what to do, and then I started sending pictures to you guys. And that was a trip. And the fact that I really was so concerned because I didn't want to give you guys anything that would be half-assed or couldn't be really respected. Okay.
Right.
And then I get the tracks. Okay. And I go, who's playing bass? You know what I mean? Because I didn't even know you were involved, PJ. My apologies. Okay?
No.
Oh, the information was coming fast and furious, right?
Right.
So now I'm looking you up. I see the video of you singing, playing. You got a cool video out on your official page or Facebook or something. I go like, right on. I mean, I knew about Trickster. I didn't follow everybody, Kent and Joe. I just knew your friends, Eric. Didn't know. And Chris and I go way back, long time ago, never working together, but always – being respectful. I was always very aware of Chris's enthusiasm for my era of Kiss, for seeing Kiss originally with me in the band. And he's dear friends with some of my dear Canadian friends that I work with, Brent Fitz, Todd Kearns. He knows these people. So that was real natural for me. But I have to say that Kent and Joe, you made me feel really welcome. PJ, you kind of saved my ass. I don't know what I'm doing on GarageBand either, but if you got any problems, let me know. Okay.
I don't even
felt like you guys were all rooting for me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, I got to do a video now. What am I going to do? You know what I mean? Because again, I've always avoided that, or I've done it at a real studio if I'm going to give some footage. And then I did get a sneak of what No was looking at, and then I realized, okay, I think Kent, you shared the drum shot and off I went, and I was literally in this room, but facing the other way. And my wife Lisa captured me. And you're right, Chris. The guy that edited that did a fantastic job. I don't care. Look, right now we're all doing things for not our usual price.
Right, and also that's the reason why it works so well is because we are. You can film something now and put it on national TV. They do it for Saturday Night Live or for AEW or whatever, and people accept it because they just want something new and they want current content. So for us, like you said, Bruce, recording on GarageBand and filming in your living room, this is what people are enjoying about this, and they appreciate the fact that we're doing this. And like I said, in this, like we were laughing earlier, that we're in Spin Magazine. I've never been to Spin Magazine, but I said like we're in a Kiss covers band with the ex-guitar player from Kiss in the middle of a quarantine. This is the fucking best.
Yeah. No, the reaction, it's been incredible, everyone I've bragged about. And I've been very fortunate. I've been asked to do some really good interviews. And I'm, happy to pick especially the ones that I think can reach my crowd. And I've been bragging about, and I've been slipping it in a little bit that I'm involved in the next single. One guy actually thought it was me, Joe, on No already.
Oh, really?
I said, no. Yeah, Joe.
Why in the frame?
Oh, no, I'm serious, though.
Ultimate compliment.
Oh, he's
and
killing
you really nailed it. I was so proud of you.
Joe, let me ask you this. Let me
Sure.
ask Joe this because, obviously, so if you guys haven't heard the song Watching, it starts with basically a minute-long guitar and drum solo, and it's amazing. How was it hard for you to pick that up, Joe? Obviously, you're a Jedi on guitar, but you nailed it perfectly.
Well,
there's no issue at all.
It looks easier than it really is. I'm going to tell you right now, Bruce is a monster on guitar.
Well, thank you.
So I've been listening to it, like I said, forever. So the Crazy Nights album, I was like 4 or 5 when that was out. But I grew up listening to that. I kind of matured early at an early age, listening to this stuff. So it was kind of programmed into my, DNA.
Yeah.
So when I, Kent and I discussed doing the song, I just, everything was from memory, from what I had heard, and I just kind of pieced it together, and here it is. So
can I just say that I think, I should learn no, because I know my fans love these isolated riff things I do.
Yeah, they're
And
great.
I think I'm going to use the no video because it shows enough of you playing it. And I think you got it like so right. I'm going to go like, oh yeah, I'll just watch the Joe video. I'll figure out no.
Well, it's funny.
Go ahead, Joe.
Because I watched it live at Monsters of Rock in '88, and that's how.
Okay.
What's funny though, Joe, is that the first edit of the video, Bruce, they was just focusing on Joe's face, and when Joe plays, he's not a Bruce Kulick with the face.
No, he's not making any of it. He's like
he's
yes.
a Richie Blackmore player.
Yeah.
So I said to Joe, can you do another take of you just showing your fingers playing this great riff?
So,
and I said to Dima, you're going to get this, Joe. I said, I need less of Joe's face and more of his fingers, because when that beginning riff comes, I want to see his fingers. I don't want to see this guy with no facial expression just killing it on guitar and acting like it doesn't even matter.
Making it look so easy.
I think I stole that technique, I swear, because there was another thing I had to do, my solos, and I actually asked Lisa, now just get like real kind of close to my hands, you know what I mean? Even though, I make my Bruce faces.
Well, I sent you, Joe, the autograph, Turn Up the Radio, and I said, film it like this, where that guy Steve Lynch is playing that solo, and you can tell the camera's right at the neck of the guitar, so all you see is the guitar. And it's like, let's try that.
Yeah.
So,
but I got to ask you, Chris.
That was helpful.
Team Jericho, you had some real creative angles and stuff going on in your video. I mean, you're a natural that way. You're a showman,
He is.
I'm like watching. Lisa and I are watching it, and I'm like, damn, he's good. How are we going to do anything like that? You know what I mean?
Well,
you got all this attitude, you got angles, you got things going on.
The best thing was I was at my friend Ed's house recording the track, and Ed and I have been friends for years. He's got a studio there. So I was just looking around because like I said, there's this big, long, it's probably about a minute and a half before the first, and I said, well, I'll drink some tea and I'll read, if that's Ed's high school yearbook. And then I found this old grotty toothbrush, but I was like, I don't want it to touch my teeth. So if you watch me, I'm brushing it, but I'm not touching my teeth.
That's even better. I caught that.
Hey, PJ, let me ask you this. You toured with Kiss on the Revenge tour with Trickster. Did you have any interactions with Bruce back in those days, or were you guys kind of too scared to talk to the Kiss guys? Or tell us about that.
Hell no. Us scared?
Jersey guys, are you kidding me?
Fuck no, man. We were like, what's up? We were probably the annoying little punks trying to sit down with them in catering, try to have dinner with them all the time. I know we were.
I can't remember, but
it was a long time ago.
I know. I sent you the poster though.
I know.
Lisa found one, and I had her take a picture. I sent it to PJ.
Yeah.
It was the bill, Chris. Of
course.
Tour with us on. It's kind of cool.
Well, tell us about the Revenge tour, because that's like, even though in my opinion it's Kiss's best studio record, at the time the band was not really drawing big crowds. Some were big, some were small, but kind of tell us about that. From both your standpoints, from you too, PJ.
Certainly, we ran into where music was changing pretty heavy. This is 92, right?
92, yeah.
Yeah. And I think the Seattle thing took away a lot of thunder of what we were doing. And then there we are putting out like this, what I consider a tremendous record, although I'm proud of so many of them. But the point was just we did the best we could. I thought we had a great stage show, the Statue of Liberty, and then it kind of turns into the
when it worked thing. When it worked, right?
Yeah, when it worked. Yeah, very well said. But and it was always, I thought we were really in our prime too. But you can't always time everything to be perfect, in the sense of the market and the people's kind of the flavor of what's happening in the music business. So, but I'm glad we got a live 3 out of that. You guys are all aware of that. And that record I stand by, and very little repairs and overdubs compared to from what I've been told about the first 2. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm ready to perform live to a live 3, if you get what I mean.
How was that tour for you, PJ? This is one of your first big tours, 19, because what were you, 18 or 19?
No, I might have maybe just been 20. We were Steve and I in particular were, when we got the tour, we were literally in our hotel room in our hotel in LA because we were mixing our second record, and we got the Kiss tour and we fucking went nuts. We were like, yeah, that was it. that was it for us. I mean, it's like you guys know when you get the call and you go, you guys got the Kiss tour. We're like, fuck, you know. So I mean, there was nothing that was going to rain on our parade. We got that tour, and yeah, some nights were real light. Kent, you saw us at the Rupp Arena as a big. At the time, I think that might have been the biggest arena in the country, next to like the Palace, and you know, it was light. But fuck, if it wasn't a great show.
But it's the best Kiss show I've seen.
And that's because the set list was amazing.
Yeah,
the show was killer.
The band was tight.
And Bruce is right. Bruce is right. Music was changing. We were right kind of as things were turning, but we were kind of plowing through it. And, you know, for us in particular, our record came out. We went to radio, I think, the day that tour started. And every day we were getting more bad news and more bad news. Yeah. And it was like, okay, how many ads did we get today? 10 as opposed to 30 or 40. It's like every station was changing their formats. We're like, all right, well, guess what? We're playing with Kiss again tonight, so fuck it.
Right. Exactly.
It was like that we couldn't have been in a happier place to get bad news every day. You know?
Bruce, we got some questions coming in from some of the people listening. And Jim McQueen asked, what do you feel is the best Bruce Kulick Kiss album?
You know, it's always a tough question because I always feel like there's so many highlights through the years. I really love Revenge only because the band was like really tight. Ezrin really worked us hard. There's an anthem there where God Gave Rock and Roll to You. And then there's all those other cool songs from Gene's Nasty Unholy Domino to Paul's I Just Wanna and Every Time I Look at You and Tough Love and Heart of Chrome. And you know, it's just in the Car Jam, Eric's involved, Eric Carr, who sadly, of course, we lost that year. But then again, I can't, you know, like I know for some fans, Asylum's their favorite, Crazy Night's their favorite for whatever reason, and Hot in the Shade they love. So I'm just proud to have this connection to all those, you know, a good body of work in the Kiss history. Absolutely.
Yeah, like I said, I think to me, Revenge is my favorite Kiss studio record, and that's why when we were thinking of a second song for Quarantine, I'm not sure if there was even any others brought up. Kent, I think we come up right out of the gate with that one.
I was psyched. Those are the ones you told me, and I was psyched that you picked something off of Revenge because that's probably one of my favorite.
And here's the thing too. So that song, as we all know, the melody, like Paul Stanley at this point in time was at his peak as a singer. I think that the Kulick years were Paul's best years. He had harnessed this vocal. So that song, I knew I could sing it if I was having a good day. And also too, for me to sing a Gene song, there's two separate styles there. Now Gene sings high. He's deceptively high. And people don't give him credit for that. He's got a lot of high melody lines, but he's also got the balls. So that was more of a throat ripper. But the Heart of Chrome, I was having a good day, and I'm not even kidding you guys. You guys did all the hard work with the background vocals. I fucking nailed that in like an hour.
You were done. You text me, or
I was texting. We're doing it, and
we're done. I'm like,
here's a fun story. I text Paul, and I said we're going to do Heart of Chrome, and he goes, "If you can sing that song in the original key with the original melody line, then you're a better man than me." And I was like, I'm telling you, dude, I can do this. And I sent it to him, and he was like, this is great. You did great. And he goes, the guitar was awesome. I said, well, Bruce joined us. He goes, I knew it. I knew that was Bruce Kulick.
And I think you mentioned in Spin that Gene actually sent me No, No, No out of nowhere. One morning I wake up in an email. He just forwards what you did for him. Yeah. And I'm right back, Gene, I know I'm doing Heart of Chrome.
Crazy?
You know, it's the next song. So I love that. And then Chris, you and I spoke. I'm really happy that, of course, you've been sharing this with Paul because it'd be better for you guys to share it than me. But I love it that it's all been kind of, validated and it means something. And it's all connected. The fans are going to love it. And I'm just so proud of you guys to have such a crazy, kooky Kiss concept. Those are all K's, okay?
Okay.
K in front of all that.
Well, I think the proudest moment for me of this whole thing is we're unleashing songs that never got their just due, as far as I'm concerned. And I've listened to them. I go back and I listen to them. I'm like, this, and I text Joe today. I was like, these 80s non-makeup Kiss is no joke playing wise. I mean, when I sat down to play No, No, No,
right,
had a lot of double bass and Luke Bryan's song. So I sat down and I was like, I was getting Charlie horses and the whole thing. And I was like, I was sweating in the whole thing. And I was like, wow, this is like, and then Heart of Chrome, you know, Eric Singer's got the ascending tom and all this and that. And I'm like, this stuff is very complex.
Eric is very intense with his stuff. And I heard you guys talking a little bit about No, No, No. And I just wanted to just spend a quick minute about it. You got to remember that Eric Carr was a big part of that. Okay,
absolutely.
He was very attracted to bands like Metallica and bands that did very driving double bass drum, wild enough, you know, wild stuff. And I remember Gene. I came in. I wasn't like some songs, you know, I'll present and then it gets worked on and turned into a tune. And in this case, I really know that Eric also loved Van Halen and that kind of the way Alex Van Halen would play drums. So that drive, this thing was like Eric and I going, we love the Van Halen thing, and then you got that. One of you guys mentioned it's almost like a thrash thing, you know what I mean? It's got that energy and everything. But my guitar parts were all, I'm thinking Eddie. Okay, I got to give him credit. You know, you know, doing those kind of double notes, and then Gene loves those descending chords that are kind of dark and strange, but the idea of it starting off with this crazy lead, and then I remember a review that they said the keyboard intro of No, No, No. I'm like, thank you. Okay.
What?
You know what I mean? What? It's a hammer-on thing. When you get it smooth, maybe it could sound like an arpeggio on a keyboard, but not any keyboard I know, and you guys know that. So it was really interesting. I'm really proud that the band. First of all, I love that Nevison liked it because it was us stretching out. You know, Ron Nevison, who produced that record, is very much, he wanted those hit songs for radio. That was his whole job, hence The Reason to Live. Crazy Nights was an anthem, love it or not. And I think, you know, it was our big hit internationally, actually. But I got to admit that Nevison was looking for songs that was mostly more pop radio from the Heart hits he had and other people. So for him to get involved and produce No, 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 he went out on a limb there. And I think Gene's attitude carries it. The stops and starts, and then I don't know. I never really thought it would be finished, and I didn't think Paul and Nevison would go for it because they were a little bit one-minded about what Crazy Nights should be. And now you guys have like kind of brought it back into the public light, and I thank you so much for that.
Well, and Bruce, the thing too is it's hard not just from a guitar, drum, and bass standpoint, but we have discussed this. The timing of the vocal is weird. Like there was a couple times, like that one was way harder for me to sing than Heart of Chrome. From a timing standpoint, there was a couple times when we had to sit there. Talking about my friend Ed once again. Shout out to Ed Aborn if he's listening. Okay, let's play the real version again. Fuck, when's he coming in? Yeah, down and out. But like it comes off it's almost off beat, and that was hard for me to get. And whenever I've been recording music for 20 years, and whenever I feel after 2 or 3 times, if I don't get it, I start getting like a little bit of a sweat, and I start getting a little bit like
I can't do it.
Yeah, and it starts, and I almost like I'm like I gotta calm down because if you know what, when you get it in your own head, you never get it right.
That's the worst place to be.
That's right. And we were moving along so well, and this one part, and there was one part I think during the solo, "Don't Say No" or something, and that was just. It was weird.
Left-footed. It's left-footed. There's some
you're
weird
right.
parts in there.
It's coming
everything about that song is just
the bridge or whatever you want to call it.
The bass part, everything.
All that stuff is.
Yeah, and you said that too, PJ. Bruce, I know Joe mentioned that you guys played it at Sweden Rock. Did you guys play that? Did you play it a lot?
Yeah, we did. Believe me, I was not. I'm very pleased when I watch it because it didn't fall apart. In fact, during some tours, I bet there's fans out there that know better than I. You know, which tours it was featured, but it was also sometimes used as the like kind of like where there'd be a drum thing and then Eric's done and then all of a sudden I come in we used it and we performed it and Paul ran around the stage with it playing the chords, but that was a lot of work for me. It really was, and I'm just really excited that it's
I would say hard for Gene too. Did he play it directly?
Yeah, he played it great and could sing it.
Well,
you know, can I say one thing about Gene? He doesn't care about being considered a very talented musician. Everyone knows that.
Yeah,
and the guy has a tremendous ability from timing to vocals, the range. Chris, you mentioned it. Absolutely. He would go up there high, a different voice than Paul, and then the magic of the two of them when they sang together, amazing. But certainly Gene as a bass player, even as a composer, even though there's times he throws everything against the wall and his attitude is like, let's see what sticks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way he is. But when he really digs into, there's no way an artist less than that could come up with a Domino or an Unholy and have that attitude, or even Going Blind and going back into the vintage things. You know, Gene's a very talented musician, but he doesn't care about that.
He doesn't.
He doesn't care about it.
I said to him before one time, I said, "You're so underrated as a bass player." He went, "I don't care."
Right. I know.
So
he's got a lot else to be proud of.
A couple fan questions here. Joe Bing just makes a comment that he loves Eric Carr and Eric Singer as drummers. They changed him as a player and as a person. So thanks for that comment, Joe. And then this is one for you, Kent. William Works, another great name from Facebook, asks, what were some of Kent's drummers that he looks up to?
Well, it's out of the gate. I was probably 3 or 4. Obviously, Peter Criss. It was a visual thing with Kiss more so than anything back as a child. But then when I started getting new material, I got the Creatures of the Night stuff, or excuse me, before that, Elder, Creatures of the Night, and then so on and so forth. And so I was right in the non-makeup. So Eric Carr was a huge influence. And then ironically, Eric Singer, who I knew from Badlands. So I'd followed Eric all the time. But aside from the Kiss drummers, always John Bonham. My mom and dad were in a top 40 band. So, everybody from Mick Fleetwood to John Bonham to, the Gatlin brothers. I was all over the map, as far as everything. Alice Cooper, the whole thing. So it's more so bands that influenced me. The Journey Escape record.
Great album.
Stuff like that. So I was just mesmerized by Kiss as a youngster. So it was as a band, as a whole, it really, the non-makeup years kind of was my babysitter in a way. You know what I mean? It's like it was mom would be at work or whatever, and I would be listening to the Kiss records and learning them inside and out. Like you could name anything off any record, any of those records, and I like to think I could play it, or try at least. And it's just I think it was just a moment in time when I hear the Crazy Nights record, I go back to that kid setting on you just taking it all in,
That's what I was laughing about when you were saying, yeah, man, my legs are killing me from no. I was like, you don't have a lot of double bass, and that's my kind of night. Brian.
No, totally different animal.
I will say this: my first ever country rock concert, Bruce and PJ and Joe, was Luke Bryan. Kent was kind enough to get me tickets in Tampa, and I had a fucking blast because Luke Bryan is more of a rock concert now than most rock concerts. He drives a pickup truck on stage filled with beer and throws beers into the crowd. I'm like,
wow,
it's so over the top. It's bombastic. It's based essentially an '80s arena rock show. That's what it is with country lyrics. It's visual. A lot of people listen with their eyes, So if they see a lot of neat things happening, they're going to be like, "That's the best show I ever saw," So, and I think that a lot of that comes from the Kiss stuff.
The connection with Garth Brooks and
absolutely
Paul Stanley and Kiss and
absolutely.
Tell us about that, Bruce. You guys played with Garth in 94, 95 or so. You guys were on the Tonight Show with him.
Yes, I know. Unbelievable. And I got to tell you a little story about that. Is the fact that a lot of fans probably don't know this. So they fly us all out to Nashville to meet Garth and record at one of those. You Nashville guys know those little houses on that street.
Oh yeah.
What do they call the street again? There's
well, there's Broadway. Let's see.
I think it was
Music Row.
Music Row. There you go.
Yeah.
So we're in this cool house, and Garth was just such a sweet man. I mean, he was at the top of his game, and I know Paul was so excited. We were all honored to be there. I did not really study, and I learned from this. I really didn't know Hard Luck Woman. We never did it. My era of the band never did it. So I'm a bit not that familiar with the song. And then we're getting ready to do things in the studio, and Paul was just like, "Yeah, let me show you that." And then I just said, "I think you got to play it." You know what I mean? So I actually did not appear on that track, and I went home. Paul, I remember, called me in the hotel, and he wanted to make sure I was okay with it. And I said, "You did the right thing. I did not go there understanding that song and knowing all the nuances." And from that point on, I always made sure I did my freaking homework. like I did for you guys for Heart of Chrome. Okay, you know, and then of course when we did the Jay Leno, and thanks for mentioning that, Chris. You know, I'm ready to play it right. Okay, I played every note the way Paul did it or the way the record is, because I actually think Paul played it on the record, and Ace wasn't involved in that song. Okay, but just shows always show up to that session. Everybody could be nice. You don't know your shit. You know,
That's right.
Someone else is going to do it. You know, and I felt, like I said, it hurt me, but I learned a lesson from that. So whenever you have that kind of failure, you know, and I don't have to tell you guys, you're all where you are because you understand that. You know, don't let that happen.
Joe, I was going to ask you, because when we first were talking about, and you don't even know, Bruce, you'd be laughing at how we're like 4, you know, adults going like, should we text Bruce? Anybody heard from Bruce? I've known,
right.
like you said, Bruce and I have known each other for almost 15 years or whatever it is. But we were saying, like, you know, and then it was like we asked Bruce to do the solo, and then someone was like, well, is he doing the whole track or whatever? And then we were like, well, we want Joe to be involved. And you actually put it best, like, Joe, this is kind of a cool bucket list dream come true for you to appear on a song with Bruce Kulick.
Big time. Like,
oh, well, that's cool. After what you did on No, I wanted you to play on it. I really didn't want the burden of everything because I can't even know how to record. But a featured guest usually is the soloist. Okay,
sure.
And that you guys kindly. I even joined you on the big riff. You know, and I think that has a cool sound. I absolutely love the way this thing came out. I know the Kiss fans are going to love it. I've played it for some of my family, friends, you know, close people, and they were all so excited. And the video is amazing. So anyone that thinks they're going to be a letdown from No, we're just you know, it's going up a notch. You know, it's coming even more. No offense to No.
Well, that's what we said. Bruce is the secret weapon, not so secret. I said secret weapon, and then we're like, well, it's not a secret. And we called you the nuclear weapon.
Yeah, I'll get a nuclear. I like that.
That's right.
But Joe, is that cool for you to hear it back and go, yeah, with Bruce Kulick?
Oh, big time. Like I said, I grew up watching him, and you know, just such a big influence to me. So to have us both on the same track, I was talking to Kent the other day, and I said, dude, is this really happening, or is this some sort of strange dream that we're in? Because all of this, you know, we had excellent reviews from No. It seemed like everyone received it well, and I think YouTube had quite a few views, you know, almost instantaneously. So
yeah, we did 40,000 views in the first day. And I was telling these guys, Bruce, that usually when we put a Fozzy video out, if you can get 10,000 the first day, you're doing good.
No, I love that it's going well.
And people are just looking for new content. And we spoke about earlier. Right. HB Hemskirk from YouTube says the album Carnival of Souls blows my mind. It was a different style, but amazing.
Yeah. Oh, well, it is very odd. And some people really love it, and they feel like it's like the best thing, and it's so unusual as a Kiss record. But I always tell them, like, well, if you love it, you can thank me. I contributed a lot of riffs, like 9 of the 11 songs I helped co-write.
You're all over that album.
Don't blame me. They wanted like heavy riffs. Okay.
And you debuted your vocals.
Yes, a vocal. Yes,
which is super cool.
And that came about really weird. I'm glad you brought it up. The quick story was just I kept demoing it with Gene. I was demoing it and showing it to Gene. I did that whole flip thing where it's backwards by flipping the cassette from an earlier recording that we did with it. And I just never let go of the song. So every time it changed, there was no vocal from Gene for reference. So I'm like, I know deep inside of me, you know, and I would just do it. By the time I got to Toby, the guy who was going to co-produce it with Gene and Paul, who was the Alice in Chains guy and everything, he was adamant with those guys. I never asked to be the singer on it. Wasn't presented as my song in the sense of my vocal debut for Kiss. It was literally just one of the songs. And Toby said, he's got to sing it. That's the vibe. He's got to sing it. And I'm like, you know, so anyway, very proud of it, of course, but I would have loved it. I mean, again, even if it didn't have my lead vocal, there was so much love and energy put into all the parts and how it was arranged and the backward sections and everything. Really cool.
Laura Rock says, PJ, who were your favorite bass players growing up, and what was your favorite memory of playing on the Kiss Revenge tour?
Well, obviously, Gene was, for me, very influential, and that wind up. I've used that wind up since day one.
You know about the vroom?
That's where I get that from. I do it any chance I get, I can do that, and that's all from Gene. And it goes all across the board. It goes from Gene to Jocko, and it's like, and everything in between. One of my favorite memories from the Revenge tour that I can talk about. God, probably just really hanging out. I'll never forget us just being in our dressing room, and of course Eric Singer's in our dressing room as he was every day, and then Gene telling us, Eric Singer should be in your band. He should be your drummer. And then like Gene just coming in with Nick as I don't know, maybe 3-year-old, 4-year-old,
little boy, yeah.
And just doing circles running around our room, and Gene just sitting there and like just sitting there watching him, and then looking at us, he's going, he'll do this for hours. Watching run around like, and just seeing stuff like that, like real interaction, and that's the kind of stuff. I mean, getting to go on tour with Kiss was the thing that he's dreamt about, and so playing every night was in itself, amazing. But that kind of stuff, or just going out to dinner and then running into everybody in the band, and all of a sudden we're all having dinner together. It's like, just having dinner. That's the good stuff. That's cool shit every day, something new.
Jeffrey King says that we just got a few more questions here. We lost Joe, but we're trying to get him back. We'll get him back. Bruce, and this might be a hard question to answer. Let me rephrase it in a different way. Jeffrey King wants to know, what were the differences between playing with Eric Carr and playing with Eric Singer?
I mean, it's actually a fair question, and
good question.
I was very blessed to be able to play with both of them. Both really excellent musicians, both very into guitars. Both of the guys can play different instruments, and I in some ways Eric Carr, he definitely had this thing that he would go to, like a Tears Are Falling is a signature kind of that drumming in that. Animalized Live, we played way too fast, and Eric Carr could do that very well.
It was so great.
Yeah,
and that was almost a thrash song.
Yeah, and then his height being so small, and he'd have to jump up on the. He'd always have to use more drums than anybody possible. And Eric Singer being a more, Eric played with a lot of people from Tony Iommi to Alice Cooper at the time. I think he had a short Lita Ford for a while. Gary Moore, So he was already kind of seasoned with what it would be to do the arena tour, how to fall into place. So I find actually really the difference between the two were more like Eric, he was like, Kiss was the first huge thing he got involved with. Mm-hmm. And Eric was already understood what he needed to do. But that was just their professional approach to things. I was just, I wouldn't say I had a preference. They were different, but both really talented and very musical. So I'm pretty lucky to play with such great players.
Absolutely.
Both are such great driving hard rock drummers for sure.
And great singers.
Yeah. I mean, Singer really came along. Eric's voice should have been used more. He should have had more lead vocals and all, but we could just look at that now and be grateful for Little Caesar and some of the backgrounds on the live things that you could really hear his voice real strong. But Eric Singer's having a hell of a time the last years, where he's covering a lot of the high stuff, including on Unplugged. You can hear that really well on Unplugged.
Really?
I've been listening a lot to that lately. So he's done a great job as well for those guys.
I'm going to read something here from James Rutkamp from Facebook. It's not so much a question, but it's just a really well written comment. Hey guys, what an honor to see all of you together. I truly believe that Carnival of Souls was one of the most creative pieces of music Kiss ever made. I have been a fan from day one, and how could you ever discredit this amazing music that has been made? But that album is such a creative piece of art that ventured away from the stereotypical Kiss sound. I hate to say that. I believe putting Kiss actually hurt the album because it was so different from what you did, but so amazing. So interesting. If had that come out as, Paul, Gene, Bruce, and Eric, maybe it would have been received differently. But
the
know.
timing and everything. I was just happy it came out because I didn't know. And Paul always said to me, "No, it's going to come out. You'll see." And I actually think Ace and Peter were kind of upset when they didn't release it, even though it was the final session.
That came out after the reunion.
They took a break. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they were going to do their record, which I did get involved with a little bit, Psycho Circus. But
you played on Psycho Circus?
Yeah, I played some bass. My backwards guitar is on Within, okay? And that's me on bass on Psycho Circus, that song. Boom, 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 boom.
What?
I did demos with Paul. Yeah.
Because you used to play bass quite a bit in the 80s.
But not a lot on the Kiss songs, but some of Revenge. Forever would be a song that I played on.
Wow.
Paul liked the way I played the ballads. So I'm on Every Time I Look at You.
One of my favorite solos in Forever, too.
Thank you. I love that
So
acoustic.
good.
Oh, yeah.
Top 5.
I'm very grateful that happened, because people always requested, my wedding anniversary, please play it forever.
But that solo, that acoustic solo, man, that whenever that song comes on, I go, I can't wait for the solo.
Great. Well, thank you, PJ.
Joel Delord says, my first concert was 30 years ago yesterday, Kiss Hot in the Shade tour.
All right.
And also love the Raw album with PJ.
Very, very cool.
We got some great fans here.
Yeah, Ra is my other band. It's my other wife.
And then as we wind down here, Anthony Britt says, what is the future for Kuarantine? And I guess I throw that out to the panel here. Kent?
Well, you know what? I put it like this. I am down for whatever you guys want to do as it comes. If this keeps doing well, why not? This is something that we can always celebrate, this music, and I think there's such a broad body of work and just a long body of work that we can just dab into songs for years and years. I think this could be something, when we're not busy or when that we can always go back to and put out in the universe again. And again, I think what's overwhelming to me and what's so cool is the great feedback that people are like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this song, or oh my gosh, I didn't know, it sounded like this, or blah, 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 so I think I'm here as long as these guys want to be here.
It's funny. I got a bunch of people when I said, we're doing no. They're like, why are you doing no?
Because it's awesome.
I'm like, wait till you hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear it.
And everybody who heard it was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Because no one expects this to be Kiss. Like people, they're thinking it's going to be, a Tears Are Falling or something, but this song just goes straight for the jugular. And guess what? That's not the only one. There's a ton of those types of songs.
Exactly.
And I'll take over and I'll let Joe and Bruce answer after, but we've already been discussing other tunes, like in the Spin Magazine article, and they said, like, would you do more? And I said, why not? Like I said, Bruce, we said earlier, this is the first time that Joe and I have ever met. We recorded 2 songs,
True story.
2 videos, and we've never met.
Right.
So there's a whole wealth of these amazing tunes that a lot of people have never heard or have forgotten they heard, to where it's like, we could do this for years. There's because the rule is now we've decided it has to be unmasked and it has to be from the Bruce Kulick era. Now that does include Animalize, because you played some of those songs on the
Animalize live, and I went on the tour. Yeah,
right.
Well, Joe, what's your take on this?
So I'm down. Pretty much what Kent said. I'm down, but one stipulation is that Bruce has to be part of it all the way through it with us. So
you are such a fine lead player. You don't have to say that, really. I think I'm better as a featured player from time to time. But my take on it is, let the people speak. If they're loving this and you guys are into it, you got to continue. And if you think about it, and not to do a shameless plug for my cruise performances, but Chris, you know that. I've been doing stuff with talented guys, Todd and Brent and Zach, and we're only covering my era, doing medleys and everything because we only get 75 minutes. And it's such a hit on YouTube and everything. Now I want to work with my guys, and I'm going to play with those guys. I want to cover some Kiss songs, but only a few. I really want to do original music with them. But the idea that you guys had to do some sort of a tribute for that era that I think is more popular now than it's been
That's
in a
right.
very long time, right? And then here's the other thing. No was a surprise to people, I think. First of all, yeah, if you look at the Crazy Nights album, you see Gene singing it, it's Kiss, okay? And that kind of, it puts you in a bit of a box, you know what I mean? You just in Kiss, you know?
Mhm.
But to hear you, Chris, you, Joe, play it as like me on steroids, actually. It was so good. And then Kent's drumming, right? PJ, the bass is spot on, you know, just powerful. It's a fresh take. It is a fresh revisit of great songs done for the right reasons. So why not? So don't stop. I'm a supporter. I'll be there for you.
Well,
So
you know
let's say, go ahead, Kent.
well, I was just wanted to touch on something real quick. You know what's so cool about this whole thing is we're from different genres. I play country music live, you know.
I looked you up. I know.
But you see, but I'm a huge Kiss fan.
Yep.
Joe's an artist in his own right, does country music stuff, but he is a huge Kiss fan. Chris, huge Kiss fan. PJ, huge, and they're everywhere.
Yep.
So all walks of life, and we all doing this and putting music out. So I think that's what's so beautiful about it, you know. So I just wanted to say that real quick and before. You know,
but and also Bruce knows this, is all you guys do. I've been a champion for 80s Kiss my whole life, because we don't have to go through the story, but the first time I ever saw Kiss was this guy with his hands on fire at the beginning of the video, and then he jumps through a hoop on fire at the end. And I was like, who is this guy? That's Kiss. Kiss, don't they wear makeup? No, they took it off. I'm like, I love these guys. So I'm an 80s Kiss fanatic. Check this out, dude. I went to Animalize May 9th, 1985 in Winnipeg, and I bought the Kiss shirt before the show, and there's some other guy on the Kiss shirt. That's not the guy. That's not. Hold on, though, Bruce. It's not Mark St. John, because I saw Mark St. John in the Heavens on Fire video.
Oh, right.
So why is there this other guy on the T-shirt? And it was you.
Oh, okay. So, by then they changed it. Yeah. Okay.
But they had never. There was no internet. There was no announcement that Mark is out and Bruce is in. So I was like, who is this guy on the shirt? That's him. Wow. What's his name? Who is it? We don't know.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't know your first concert. I didn't know. I know you saw My Era, but I didn't know it was that. The innocence back then, where we had to wait till Circus Magazine came out 3 months later to find out that Bruce Kulick's the player. Anyways, my point is, we've been championing this era, and there's so much great material. So let me ask you this, Bruce, because I know, I'm telling you, we've already discussed it. Quarantine is going to continue. If we do another pair of songs and asked you to be involved on one of them, if it's something that you dig, will you play? Great. Come on, you know I'd say yes. I love it. I'll forever thank you guys for celebrating my era, but even better, you made me learn how to use my fucking studio at home. So
the door's wide open now.
Exactly.
Bruce, I'm glad I could help.
Hey, PJ,
you know, I'm sure I was a big help.
I can teach you a few things now. I understand it better.
I'm going to call you now. I just upgraded, so I'm going to be calling you.
Okay.
Bruce, do not call me. Do not call me.
It's about connecting with your fans.
Never call the drummer.
Never call the drummer back here or studio stuff. But honestly, the reaction, look, you know I've been serving up massive amounts of content on social media for my fans, because otherwise I'll go out of my mind with this situation that we're all in, being at home. So my home's my stage right now. It's my work. It's everything. And then this project that you guys came up with, it so solidifies in so many ways that love that I see from my era of Kiss in the non-makeup years, and it's all good. To me, it's all one big catalog. If I do a live 3, I'm doing songs from the past, but we do it the way Eric Singer and myself played it. You know what I mean? So I just love it all. I mean, I don't have a, oh no, I don't want to play that. I've jammed with Rick Springfield Rocket Ride. Okay. Cause that was the special request from the guy. I said, really? I got to learn Rocket Ride with all the songs that I've been involved in.
Yeah.
But this guy, it was like a charity thing. This guy was ill. I said, I'll learn it. I'll do it. And then, of course, we did Jesse's Girl, but you know what I mean? I celebrate everything about Kiss, but of course I particularly love my era, and you guys have just kind of made me feel like the crown, king of the 80s now. It's wonderful, really.
Well
deserved. The Kiss crown with all Ks.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All Ks.
The coolest Kiss. You can't do 3 Ks. You can't do 3 Ks. Yeah.
Kent, PJ, Joe, any final words for Bruce now that you get a chance to actually talk to him face to face?
PJ, you go first.
PJ?
Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining.
Yeah,
no problem. Hang on.
Part of it. Wait, I think Chris was the first one that I heard. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to get Bruce to do the solo, I'm like, that would be amazing. And there,
Look, there it is.
It is.
perfect.
That was great.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's the final scene of our video right there.
There he is, and I'm going.
Don't give it away.
No, I won't
Yeah,
give it
Bruce,
away. But there it is. That's
I'm
real
honored.
revenge era, right? That's the revenge jacket. You see?
That's it. Yeah, that's a great jacket. You guys look so cool. I used to have.
It was a
when
great
I,
look. Yeah.
When I bought the Revenge cassette in 1992, it came with a free poster. So I was
Cool.
living in a place called Okotoks, Alberta at the time, with a family that was taking me in while I was training to wrestle in the early days. And I was like a little kid. I was 21, but I had a full length Kiss Revenge poster with Paul and Gene. I can envision all you guys and Eric with the blonde hair.
Yeah.
And it just was such a cool look. It was like, Kiss is fucking great. I love Kiss.
Yep.
Joe,
Thank
Joe, any final words to say to Bruce that you have the chance here?
Oh, thank you once again. You're the best.
Oh, wow.
We are so glad to have you part of this project, and you kind of breathe some extra life into this, and we get to geek out. We have a 4-way chat, and we just talk Kiss all the time, and your name comes
My
up.
head is getting bigger. I won't fit in my home. Stop it already.
Don't worry, your wife will take you right back down. As soon
Yeah,
as
she
show's
will.
done.
Right.
She'll
Thanks,
make you
Lisa.
take out the trash or something.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got it.
Bruce. Thank you for your
I'm
inspiration.
blushing. Yeah, I look very red tonight. I'm very blessed.
Thank you, man.
And let me
This
just
is
say,
great.
what an honor it is. Here's the best part. Listen, we're in the middle of this pandemic. It sucks in a lot of ways, but I got to make some new friends. I mean, Kent and I have been friends, but this has made us, now we're bandmates. PJ and I, same thing. And like I said, I've never met Joe McGinnis. Didn't even really know your name. I just knew Classic 78. So that was great. And also to reconnect with Bruce and be involved in a project with him. I said it earlier. We're in a Kiss cover band with the former guitar player of Kiss in the middle of a pandemic. This is the best shit ever.
But it's one of the
And
silver linings. Of
It
the
is,
pandemic.
right?
I love Governor
That's
Cuomo
right.
always says, you got to look for the silver linings. And I learned GarageBand, and I met you
That's
guys,
right.
and I got to do some great music.
That's right.
In a
by
video
the way,
that I
absolutely.
never imagined. Like you said, Chris, the videos you guys are doing, it's so exciting. And I don't know, it's just all good in a real shit show of a world when we look at like how all our lives
Sure.
have changed. So I hope the fans appreciate it. I'm sure they will. And we really mean it. We care about it. So let's carry on.
Just so you know, Bruce, Ernesto Bon Scott from YouTube says, "No worries,
man.
Bruce. Your head deserves to be huge.
Oh,
Great
okay,
guy
yeah.
and great player." So
You hear that, Lisa? You can't break me down, okay?
you take out the trash, Lisa.
Yeah, you're taking out. She always does, actually. I got to be honest. She loves doing it. I don't know why. Anyway, all right, guys.
What a pleasure, and thank you so much. And be safe, and hopefully we'll get a chance to work together again very soon. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. All right. You guys take
Cheers.
care. Have a great
Kisses
night.
to all.
Thanks,
Yes.
guys.
All right. All right. Great time here with the whole gang. You guys can split too if you want.
All
If you want to stay.
Oh, how do I get it? Leave. Oh, there it is. Right
Leave
there.
studio. Yeah. I could just kick you out.
No, you know what? I'm gonna leave gracefully. I'm gonna bow out here, guys.
Likewise.
Cheers,
Have a
guys.
great night.
Thank you so
Cheers,
much.
guys.
What a great light in the middle of a really shitty time. So I'll always remember this as one of the highlights of 2020. And we are going to do more. You guys don't even believe how many people are asking and suggesting songs. So there's definitely a market for this. So we'll continue forward.
Yeah.
Have we officially nailed down the
Great.
other songs?
We
I
have.
think
We
we
got
have.
our two, right?
Yep.
I remember this.
Yep.
What was the Paul one?
The
Give me
one and the
initial-
one.
What's the initials of the Paul one? Oh, yeah. The Paul one,
yeah.
I know. Yeah, the Gene one is nuts. Bruce is
That
on flip
one's-
on that one.
I was just telling Joe that's boy.
Hey,
I got my work cut out for me on that one.
99 WNRR says, "Hey PJ, it's Presty. Cool stuff." Do you know
Oh,
that
right
guy?
on. Yeah.
Is that your lover?
My lover. I take that lover. Good dude.
All right, guys. Thanks. Enjoy talking to you
Take care.
guys. Great text group,
Yeah, man.
and awesome to see you guys. And maybe we'll do some live shows at some point. We'll see.
Take this on the road when the
Oh,
road
yeah,
opens.
let's do it.
That's it, man.
Talk to
Yeah.
you guys in,
All right,
talk to you guys in
We'll
5
talk to you
minutes.
soon.
Yeah, I'll text you soon.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so that was Quarantine. Just a bunch of dudes hanging out and being friends. So thank you guys so much. So we're gonna do a sing along of "No No No." That's the song that's available right now on Spotify if you want to go check that out. and it's also available on YouTube, the video, which we're talked about. How cool is that, though, man? I mean, listen, this is like we said, don't ever consider yourself to be in this, this quarantine thing, and we're saying that, oh, we're just caught in a Groundhog Day type thing. We're not doing that. So we're going to sing No, No, No. And it does start with like a minute intro. Hope you guys enjoyed that, man. This is just a good group of guys. Really enjoyed this. So, if you haven't heard the tune, it's smoking. Check this out. Jimmy Hans says, don't know the lyrics. You can Google it. Google No, No, No lyrics. Oh, shit. What happened? Keep playing. It's that shit, right? Here we go. Yeah! I'm down and out, but don't count me out. Listen up, babe. Gonna show you what it's all about. It's time for love, and you're welcome to it. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. So here I am. Do you want me now? Just show me where, and I'll show you how. I want to know. Why does this keep stopping? Don't say you won't when you will. Don't say you've had your thrill. Don't say you can't, because you can. No. What's mine is mine and yours is mine. Baby, just sign on the dotted line. You got 9 lives like an alley cat. Just stick with me and I'll show you where it's at. You never lied, so take a bow. That was then, baby. This is now. I want to know. No. Don't say you won't if you will. Don't say you've had your thrill. Don't say you can't, because you can. Baby, don't say no. This is Kuarantine. Available on Spotify now. Ow! I'm just rocking, man. This is so good. Hey! Here we go. Just when you thought it was safe, gonna show you where, I'm gonna show you how. Don't stop me now. Drop my foot in the door. Ow! Don't say no. I messed it up. Who cares? Don't say no. Don't say you won't if you will. Don't say you've had your thrill. Don't say you can't, because you can. But no. So good. No. Yeah, great times there. That's No by Kuarantine. You can find that on YouTube. Oh, they're playing again. My technology is the shits this week, I'll be honest with you guys. Listen, I had a great time with you guys, and thank you for watching. Like I said, we're just trying to do something fun here for you guys. And man, if you would have told me, like I said, my first KISS concert, March 9th, 1985, Winnipeg Arena, And I got to see this unknown guy, Bruce Kulick, on guitar. If you would have told me that, gosh, I don't know, 35 years later, that we'd be talking online, I never would have believed it. So thank you guys so much. Jeremiah, we're getting ready to leave. So Jeremiah Blevin says, did you ever hear any punk rock band? There's a great Canadian band called the Dayglow Abortions that I was super into back in the day. Might want to check it out. Thanks for another rockin' Saturday, says Nichols. And Shiro Kumiyuki says, thanks for taking time out. Kevin Stiegel says, who's your favorite Beatle? I got to go with McCartney, although George probably the coolest. If I went to a party that the Beatles were at, I'd probably walk in and go, where's George? Thanks for another great night. Okay, we're going to stop these. Joe Nagy says, like the Charlie Benanti official shirt Joe was wearing. We love Charlie here on the Saturday Night Special. What a great guy. Lisa Mikhalik says that chat was freaking awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Amy Marasheshi says, thanks for another great night, Chris. Cheers. Don't forget to follow I'll say it one time. R. Shinsky 15 and Michaela Wielden on IG. So much cool stuff. Oh my gosh. Love from the Mile High. Gosh, I got to learn how to control these better. Dan Frank, when are you announcing the triple whammy lineup? We got a lot. Listen, triple whammy's gone on sale for the alumni, and let me tell you, people are going nuts about it. We're so excited, and we're going to announce the lineup probably next week, maybe. Sing Saturday Special on the way out says the Danimal. I love it. It's just a Saturday night special. Stunna Goodall says, you're awesome. Love it. Danny Penumney says the Saturday night tradition continues. Just so you know, there will not be a Saturday special next Saturday because we have Double or Nothing with the Stadium Stampede match. So don't miss that one. Brian Nedzer6 says, what about a show with Jack Slade? That might be kind of cool. Sarah Tomia Ronka says, when can we start booking next year's Rock and Wrestling Ranger? Very soon. So all your details will be coming up very, very quickly. Rich Duty. What exactly is Duty? Duty's the biggest scam in retail at Seinfeld. Rich Duty says, you're the man. He's from New Hampshire. Loving this every week. Are those sure in the ears? I think they probably are. I can't wait to see Fozzy again when you come. Thank you. I can't wait either. Quarantine. Gail Wishnow. Gail, how are you? We love Gail. Gail says, how about Quarantine, the triple whammy? That might be kind of cool. Carl Rasmussen says, I stopped what I'm doing every Saturday for the Saturday Night Special. We appreciate that. Chris, you should sing Who Wants to Be Lonely for the next song. Wow, that's a good one. I love that song. I might should I sing it now? Chris, will we see Fozzy play at AEW? I'm not sure. Maybe. Walter Zelaya. Walter, great guy. Says, I'm excited for Stadium Stampede. Just wait until you see what happens. I'm not sure what's going to happen. This is me, Scott Hathaway. Is that you from YouTube? Says, what was your first concert? Mine was Kick-Axe and Helix. I love it. Kick-Axe, Rock and, what is it? What is it? The Cruise of Jericho, the Rock and Wrestling Rager alumni. They may or may not be back for the triple whammy. Chad Lee, thanks for keeping us safe. Stay safe, everybody. Thanks for keeping us safe. Is that Chad, the photographer? If it is, Chad, love you, man. Nashville, can't wait to come see you again some of these days. Roddy Cloudfelter. What happened to Ronnie? I just have to say that name, Ronnie Cloudfelter. What a great last name. Brian Montoya, favorite song off Metallica's Hardwired album? I love Atlas Rise. That's a great tune. Gosh, these comments go by so fast. Jason Greenbaum would love for Craig Gass to drop in on an episode. That's a good idea. Haven't had a Canadian on yet, so maybe we'll do that. Geez Louise, these things just go by so fast. Terry Smythe Greer says, hi, Chris from MD. Oh, my gosh. Asturias. I hope that AEW and Fozzy can come to Spain someday. You're the best in the world. Thank you. We hope so. Wow. Peter Glover, I had the Fozzy sign in 2000. These things go by so fast, it's driving me crazy. Anyways, guys, I can't answer these questions so fast. There's so many of them. Thank you so much that all you guys are watching this, and we're really excited to be here for you, doing this for you guys every week. Next week, there will be no Saturday special because of the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. But other than that, thank you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, go check out Kuarantine No on YouTube or Spotify now, and we'll see you next week. Kisses and love, and don't forget to follow Arshinsky15 and Michaela Wielden on Instagram. They graduated today at our house. So there you go. Thank you guys, and we'll see you soon. Oh, yeah.